On the early morning of February 1st, 2021, the democratically elected members of Myanmar's ruling party, the National League of Democracy, were deposed by Myanmar's military, which vested power in itself. Myanmar's military proclaimed a year-long state of emergency and said that power has been vested in Myanmar's Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services, Min Aung Hlaing. It declared the results of November 2020 general election invalid and stated its intent to hold a new election, even though most of Myanmar's population was satisfied by the election results. Myanmar's president and Myanmar's most prominent and famous leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, were detained, along with ministers, their deputies, and the members of parliament. So a question arises that what exactly happened in Myanmar? Why did the military took over the civilian government? What was the reaction of the international community, be it United Nations, United States, China or India? Let's discuss this topic in detail. But before we begin, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Ritin Wadekar. I created this channel because I'm passionate about current affairs and what's going on around the globe, and I want to share this knowledge through the medium of YouTube. The aim of this channel is to provide its audience genuine and concise content. So jumping back to the topic, let me first explain the basic details and information of Myanmar. Myanmar or Burma is a country in Southeast Asia. Myanmar is bordered by Bangladesh and India to its northwest, China to its northeast, Laos and Thailand to its east and southeast. As of 2017, the population of Myanmar was about 54 million. Its capital city is Naypyidaw Dor and its largest city is Yangon or Rangoon. Myanmar is a member of East Asia Summit, the Non-Aligned Movement, BIMSTEC and ASEAN. Its nominal GDP stood at $76 billion and its GDP according to the purchasing power parity is $327 billion. The income gap in Myanmar is among the widest in the world, as a large part of its economy is controlled by the supporters of the military government. As of 2020, according to the Human Development Index, Myanmar ranks 147 out of 189 countries in human development. Myanmar ranked 135 out of 167 countries with a score of only 3.04 out of 10 in the Global Democracy Index. The parliament was scheduled to hold its first session after the elections, in which the National League of Democracy or the NLD won an impressive 83% of the body's available seats. The military refused to accept the election results, which was widely seen as a referendum on the popularity of Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi as the head of National League for Democracy. Ms. Aung San Suu Kyi had been the de facto civilian leader of Myanmar since her election in 2015. The new parliament which was elected was supposed to endorse the election results and approve the new government. The coup emerged after the military, which had tried in Myanmar's Supreme Court that the election results were fraudulent, threatened to take action and surrounded the houses of parliament with soldiers. Myanmar has been ruled by the military junta for many years since it gained independence from the British colonial rule in 1948. The Union of Burma began as a parliamentary democracy, like most of its newly independent members in the Indian subcontinent. But democracy only lasted till 1962, when General U Ne Win led a military coup and held the power for the next 26 years. Under him, the economic situation deteriorated rapidly and a black market economy took place. By 1988, widespread corruption, massive shifts in economic policies related to currency, and food shortages led to massive student-led protests. In August 1988, the military cracked down on protesters, killing at least 3,000 and displacing thousands more. Since then, the military has been directly controlling the government, during which the economy deteriorated due to terrible economic policies taken by the military government. Fast forward to 2015, Due to pressure of Myanmar's people on the military government, free and fair elections were conducted, in which the National League for Democracy wins with an overwhelming number. And after almost 50 years of military government, Myanmar forms a democratically elected government which completes its term in 2020. But unfortunately, the 2021 coup occurred in the aftermath of the general election, in which the National League of Democracy won 396 out of 479 seats in the parliament, an even larger margin of victory than in the 2015 elections. The military motives behind the coup remain unclear. The coup may have been driven by military's goal to preserve a central role in the Burmese politics. There are many allegations of Myanmar military's hunger for power and maintaining its position as a key figure in Myanmar's government. As a matter of fact, the constitution of Myanmar reserves 25% of the seats of parliament and key cabinet posts for the military. This limits the power of the civilian government and rules out amending the charter without military support. Aung San Suu Kyi is a Burmese politician and a 1991 Nobel Prize winner who served as the State Councillor of Myanmar. She is the leading member of Myanmar's ruling party, the National League for Democracy, and played a vital role in Myanmar's transition from a military junta to a partial democracy in 2010. She is the youngest daughter of Aung San, who is the father of modern-day Myanmar. Talking about her educational background, she graduated from University of Delhi in 1964 and University of Oxford in 1968. Aung San Suu Kyi rose to prominence in 1988 and became the General Secretary of NLD Party, which she had newly formed with the help of several retired army officials who criticized the military rule. In the 1990 elections, the NLD Party won 81% of the total seats in Myanmar's parliament, but the results were nullified as the military government refused to hand in power, which resulted in an international outcry. She had been detained before the elections and was put under house arrest for 15 years out of 21 years from the duration of 1989 to 2010, and this became the most prominent political prisoners in the world. A major victory came in 2015 general elections when the NLD party won 86% of the total assembly elections. Although she was prohibited from becoming the president of Myanmar due to a single clause in the constitution added by the military, she assumed a newly created role of State Councillor of Myanmar, which is equivalent to a Prime Minister or a head of government. The 2021 Myanmar protests, which are also known as Spring Revolution, are a series of resistance efforts in opposition to the coup. As of 16th March 2021, at least 2,000 people have been detained and at least 183 protesters have been killed by military or police forces. Protesters have employed peaceful and non-violent forms of protests, which include acts of civil disobedience. The color red, which is associated with the National League for Democracy, the NLD party, has been donned by many protesters, and the three-finger salute has been widely adopted by protesters as a protest symbol. In response to the growing protest movement, the military resorted to a number of countermeasures which were suppressive and violent. Numerous countries have condemned the military takeover. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said it was a serious blow to democratic reforms. The United States and the United Kingdom have responded with sanctions on military officials of Myanmar. India expressed deep concern over the military coup, but refrained from condemning the Myanmar army as it feared it might worsen the relations between India and Myanmar. China, on the other hand, did not say anything and protected the country from international scrutiny. That's because China sees Myanmar's economic importance and it sees itself as Myanmar's closest ally. In conclusion, I would like to say that a civil, democratic government should come in power. Also, the transition between the military government and the civil democratic government should be in peace. So that's it for this video. If you want to share your thoughts, please do it in the comment section below. And if you find this video informative, then please share this video. And if you want to support me, then please do by liking and subscribing to my channel. Till then, goodbye, and I'll meet you in the next video.